Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, thank you
I should
for.
go there?
Yeah, you're gonna listen.
Sorry, Prabhu.
I need my glasses.
Okay,
Could-
sorry.
Could we mute everyone? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the thing with the online sessions. People listen to these sessions in the background sometimes. And yeah, okay. So thank you once again for inviting me to these Bhagavatam sessions. I'm really grateful and privileged to be here with you. It's a wonderful opportunity to share whatever little I have learned over the years from many, many teachers, especially Srila Prabhupada and the previous acharyas. So today we are continuing with Canto 4, Chapter 12, and I've been asked to provide an overview of this chapter. The way I would like to do it, I'll go through the slides, and it's not many slides. And then if you have a question, we can take those questions towards the end. And that way I can try and complete the 12th chapter. This chapter has over 50 verses. So I would like to do justice to the chapter. All right. So as you have been going through Canto 4, this particular section of Canto 4, these 5 chapters of Canto 4, they talk about Dhruva Maharaj. And Dhruva Maharaj is essentially after Artha. So there are 4 Purusharthas. What are the 4 Purusharthas? Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. So Dhruva Maharaj, when he originally started performing bhakti, as you know, his motivation was to gain something, was to gain the kingdom, which was greater than his father's. And the acharyas have told us how these different chapters are connected. And in fact, they have also told us why certain number of chapters are there in certain sections. So this section deals with Artha, and there are 5 chapters here. Why 5 chapters? Because to gain anything, Artha means to be able to gain something meaningful that we can enjoy. It is done through the 5 senses. So through the 5 senses, we acquire and enjoy Artha, and that's why there are 5 chapters. And these 5 chapters, although I don't want to dwell into these 5, the time is really short. And let me get my watch here. The 8th chapter starts with sadhana. Sadhana means what is the means of obtaining Artha. And of course, we saw in the 8th chapter, Dhruv Maharaj is performing devotional service. He's concentrating on the Supreme Lord in the forest. He's also been driven to do that indirectly by the insult of his stepmother Suruchi, and also through a direct instruction from his mother Suniti, which apparently was a casual instruction, but he took it up very seriously. So that is the means, that is a sadhana that chapter deals with. The next chapter deals with sadhya. Sadhya means what is the goal? And the goal is achieved when Dhruv Maharaj gets the darshan of the Lord, because that is the ultimate artha. That is the ultimate artha, means something worth having. That's the ultimate thing worth having. So he has the darshan of the Lord directly. And then in chapter 10, we see that because he's upset um, with, with the killing of his brother, his stepbrother. So Suniti is his mother, Suruchi is his stepmother, Uttanapad's first wife, and Suruchi's son is Uttama. And Uttama has been killed while he was in the forest in the Himalayas. So our Dhruv Maharaj feels very, very angry, and he goes to the kingdom of the Yakshas to kill them. And then in the 11th chapter, how that dosha, the anger, nivritti, how that dosha is controlled. Because even though we perform sadhana with a certain goal in mind, we all struggle with so many unwanted habits, which are nothing but dosha or anarthas. And until these anarthas are destroyed, until these doshas are dealt with, there is no possibility of gaining the final destination. So, chapter 11, it's about dosha nivritti, how Manu is advising Dhruv Maharaj to control his anger. And then in chapter 12, it's a continuation. And the reason I mention this is because, unless you know the continuation, the 12th chapter kind of begins with Dhruv Maharaj giving up his anger and then having an audience with Kubera. So Kubera is the lord of wealth. He lives in the Himalayas, and he is a son of Ilavida and Vishrava Rishi. Vishrava had another wife, Kaikashi, second wife, and Kaikashi's sons. Kaikashi had 3 sons and 1 daughter. So Kaikashi's sons were Ravana, Kumbhakarna, daughter was Surpanakha, and the youngest son was Vibhishana. He was the youngest of the 4. And Kubera's father is the same, Vishrava. So they are half brothers, Ravana and Kubera. So Kubera was kicked out of Lanka by Ravana. And then Kubera went and stayed in Alkapuri, which is in Himalayas, along with Yakshas. Yakshas are beings that protect wealth. So they are a different species. So it was those Yakshas that Dhruv Maharaj wanted to destroy. He wanted to kill them completely. So now we start the 12th chapter, which is Dhruv Maharaj going back to Godhead. So as I said, I gave the context. So the killings happened in Alakapuri in the Himalayas to avenge the death of Uttama. And Dhruv Maharaj, through the instruction of Manu, he controlled his anger. His anger subsided, and he completely stopped killing the Yakshas. Seeing this, the lord of the Yakshas, which is Kubera, became very, very happy, pleased, and he came before Dhruv Maharaj. Before Dhruv Maharaj could go and see Kubera in Alkapuri, Kubera himself came and appeared in front of Dhruv Maharaj. And he said to Dhruv Maharaj, I am very pleased that you have given up this hatred. See, I'm going to share many, many lessons as we go along. Some of you might jot it down if you wish. So, Kubera says, Vairam dustyajam atyajaha. Dustyajam, that which is very difficult to give up. What is very difficult to give up? Vairam, envy. Even when there are 2 sons serving the same father, they can envy each other. 2 disciples serving the same guru, they can envy each other. Two devotees serving the same mission, they envy each other, doing the same seva. If I am a kirtaniya, I envy other kirtaniyas. If I am a cook, I envy other cooks. Only a devotee can truly cleanse himself or herself of envy. And so here, Kubera is saying, I'm very pleased. Vaira means envy, hatred. Dustyajam is very difficult to give up because it's very deep rooted. Intolerance is very deep rooted. Why is it deep rooted? Ultimately, everyone wants to enjoy, everyone wants to be the best, everyone wants to compete to become Purusha. Purusha meaning the enjoyer. We want to take the position of Krishna in one sense. We want to be the enjoyers. And hence, anyone and everyone who comes in the way of our enjoyment, we cannot bear that. So if I'm a cook and somebody else cooks better than me, then I cannot bear that. But as a devotee, we can see that even though Dhruva initially could not bear it, he could curtail his anger. Vairam dustyajam atyajaha. He managed to give up that anger, which is so difficult to give up. And then Kubera says, actually, you did not kill the yakshas, just as they did not kill your brother. So Srila Prabhupada gives a nice understanding. How did Dhruva not kill the yakshas? He actually killed them, right? Hundreds and thousands of them. So why is it said that he wasn't killed? He did not kill. Srila Prabhupada says, Dhruva Maharaj was simply doing the duty of a Kshatriya. It's a duty of a Kshatriya to, if they are challenged in war, they will take up the challenge and they will fight. It is also the duty of Kshatriya to protect citizens and family members. So he simply acted out of duty. And as far as Kubera saying that Yakshas also did not kill your brother, Srila Prabhupada, and actually the verse says that time is the biggest destroyer. If we really think deeply, each one of us is nothing but a dead man walking, a dead man, a dead woman walking. It's only a matter of time as far as the body is concerned. As far as the external body is concerned, the body is already dead. As long as we are in the body is active. As long as we have some control, the mind has control over the senses, it is acting. And when we are meant to give up this life, in one sense, we never die. But in the temporary sense, in the transitory sense, when we are meant to give up this body, what really happens? We are faced with some kind of a situation or a disease, which becomes the pretext for our death. Nobody in this world is going to die just, this moment they are alive and the next moment they are dead. It doesn't happen like that. They will go through some disease, some accident, some kind of, in some cases, there are wars in some parts of the world, some brutality happens, and as a consequence of the war, somebody dies, somebody is shot or bombed or whatever. So something becomes the cause for death. So here Kubera is telling Dhruva Maharaj, your brother was anyway going to die. The Yaksha's killing simply it just simply became a cause for his death. So in that way, Kubera, who is a demigod, demigods can see the past, present, And to some degree, they can see future of lower species, humans. Just like we can also understand this if we are looking at some ants, and let's say there is some kind of a sticky trap. Sometimes people put these sticky traps with some sugar granules on the sticky trap on the sticky board. You can see all the ants are marching. The ants cannot see, but because you are superior, you are bigger, you are higher, you can see actually they are marching towards their death. Or the firefly, you can see the firefly entering the fire. Firefly cannot see, but you can see. So similarly, the demigods, they are able to see. We are lower species than them, so they are able to see the reason. So Kubera is saying, Dhruva, you acted out of your duty, and Uttama was anyways going to die, and hence the Yakshas did not really kill your brother. Srila Prabhupada gives this understanding in the purport. So then Kubera is giving 4 wonderful lessons to us, which we should all bear in mind. These are meditations and these are guiding principles that we should imbibe in our lives. And I've given the verse numbers here, so you can go and refer to them later on. So the first thing that Kubera says that ultimately in this world, no one is the controller. Somebody might say, well, I don't see God. You are saying that is God's hand in everything, but I don't see God at all. I can't see him. Where is he? What is the evidence that he exists? So the Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita that he exists in the form of time. Actually, directly, the glance of Mahavishnu, which impregnates Prakriti, second canto of Bhagavatam, that glance consists of Kala and Jiva. So Kala is actually direct emanation from the Supreme Lord. So this time factor is the Lord himself. And time is the real controller, and that we all can see. Kala eva hi bhutanam prabhur apyaya bhavayoh. Kala eva hi bhutanam. It's only time which impacts everything and everyone. And I think even the deepest of suffering can be healed over time. Time is the greatest healer. So time is the Lord himself and is the ultimate controller. Sometimes we go through bad time and sometimes we go through good times. It is 3 modes acting in time which makes it a good time or a bad time. If I am a devotee who is generally acting in the mode of goodness, then if currently the predominant modes are mode of darkness or mode of ignorance, then it will be bad time for me. It's not compatible. So time is apyaya is the one that takes things away from us, and bhavayo, time is what rewards us things. Second is the real reason why we all remain in this world is because we see everything around us with a pair of glasses which has 2 lenses. One lens is I, the other is you. There's always, in Bhagavad Gita, it starts with Dhritarashtra saying, Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya. Sanjaya, please tell me, what did my sons, that which belongs to me, I and mine, and Pandava's sons, means the other party, what did they do? So this sense, aham tvam itya parthadhi, Apartha. Aparthadhi means it is actually very narrow-minded. Ajnanat purushasya hi. The reason why we think in terms of I and you, we discriminate, is because of ignorance. Why ignorance? Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport that just like the hands, the legs, the stomach, the head, the ears, the eyes, the nose, all these different bodily parts, yes, they are different, but they are all part and parcel of the body to serve the body. Similarly, all living entities are actually one, not in the sense of, and Prabhupada says it very clearly, the hands is not the same as the legs. So they are not one in the absolute sense of oneness. The hands cannot do what the legs can do. You cannot walk with your hands. Well, some people might, but you can't go very far or for very long. But the hands, the legs, the mouth, the head, all of it is serving the soul, is serving the transcendental living entity. I say transcendental because it's Satchidananda. That living entity in the heart is being served by all these bodily parts. Similarly, Prabhupada says, when we can see that everyone actually is part and parcel of Krishna, ultimately meant to serve the Lord, then we can see unity in everyone. Then this sense of I and you can disappear, and there can be a sense of oneness. Oneness in purpose, not oneness in the absolute sense. Third point that Kubera says is that one should treat others sarva bhutatma bhavena, sarva bhutatma vigraham. Sarva bhutatma vigraha, the Supreme Lord, is the ultimate shelter of everyone. And knowing this, we should treat everyone as our own self. How we would treat our own self. Sarva bhut atma bhavena. Atma bhava. Atma bhava means as if I'm doing this to me, to myself. Of course, one of the 10 commandments of the Bible is also do unto others as you would do unto yourself. It's one of the 10 golden principles. And that's given in our scriptures as well. We should always be mindful of how we act, how we speak, and how we think. Is it something that we would do to ourselves? So that is the third lesson that Kubera gives us to meditate on. And finally, Kubera says, Bhajasva bhajaniyangrim abhavaya bhavachiddam. Bhajaniyangrim, the lotus feet of the Lord is bhajaniya, is worshipable, is bhavachiddam. It will destroy this bhava, this cycle of birth and death. So please, bhajasva, please engage in devotional service, abhavaya, for the purpose of getting out of this world. So ultimately, the solution is to actively participate in devotional service. Having given these instructions, Kubera then continues and he says, please ask for any benediction that you want, Dhruva. Whatever is in your mind, without hesitation. Vrinihi, please ask. Kamam, whatever desire you have. Nripa, O king. Yan manogatam, whichever desire appears in your mind, speak. What does Dhruva ask? Dhruva asks, Harau savavre chalitam smrutim yaya. Harau, in Hari, achalitam smrutim. Let I have uninterrupted absorption in Lord Hari. This is what he asks. Why? Tarati ayatnena. If one has uninterrupted absorption in the Supreme Lord, then one can cross over. Tarati ayatnena duratyayam tama. This world, one can cross over ayatnena. Ayatnena means without any effort. Devotional service is the only effortless way. Loving the Lord, being a lover of the Lord, is the most effortless way to get out of this threefold miseries and this material existence. This is what Srimad Bhagavatam is saying. This is Panchama Purushartha. There are four Purusharthas: Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Prabhupada says this is the Panchama Purushartha that Dhruva Maharaj is asking. Rather than asking, give me this, give me that, give me this blessing, that blessing, the only blessing that is worth having is let I be constantly absorbed in Krishna. So then Kubera gives that blessing and Dhruva goes back to his capital city. Now somebody might wonder how some demigod like Kubera, some devata like Kubera can give blessing to a devotee like Dhruva. So Srila Prabhupada also answers that. He says that just like by watering the roots, the entire tree is nourished. So by worshipping the demigod, Lord, Supreme Lord Hari, all the demigods are pleased. So we should not be surprised that the demigod or Devata Kubera is giving blessing to Dhruva. So then Dhruva goes back. Now, great secret is being revealed. The next few slides are extremely important and relevant, especially for those of us who are grihasthas, who are working outside, who have family, friends, and house and job and everything else to maintain. So the question is, how did Dhruva, how did he, who was a devotee, grihastha, and a dutiful ruler of a huge kingdom, then perform devotional service? How did that happen? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually gives a nugget. He instructs Raghunath Das Goswami. He says, Antare nishtha kar bahye loko vyahvar achirat krishna tomai koribe uddhar. Antare nishtha karo. Inside you have deep faith in the process of devotional service, in performing your bhajan. Bahye loka vyabhar. But externally, you should appear like everyone else. Externally, they think, oh, he's just one of us. Achirat Krishna Tomai. Very quickly, Krishna will give you Koribe Uddhar. He will redeem you. He will uplift you. So one has to learn how to balance this. It's very terse reply. It's a very compact reply that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave. But Dhruv Maharaj has opened it up. He's expanded it. He has unpacked it for us. So Dhruv Maharaj, in these verses 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15, these 6 verses, he gives us practical aspects of what a grihastha can do. Men, women, doesn't matter. So he gives 10 steps for performing bhakti like Dhruv Maharaj. Number 1, what did Dhruv Maharaj do? Kratubhir bhuri dakshinai. Kratubhi. He continued performing sacrifices. Now the kratu means sacrifice. Sacrifice for this age is chanting of the holy names of the Lord. He continued bhuri dakshinai. He continued giving great charity. The highest charity that one can give in this world, especially in this age of Kali Yuga, is to bring someone closer to God, giving Krishna to others. And it's not hard to understand. If somebody is hungry, Prabhupada says, if somebody is hungry, you feed that person today. He'll be satisfied. She'll be satisfied. Tomorrow she's hungry again. So you feed her again. Again she's satisfied. But you cannot continue doing this. However, if you give her prasada and also give her the holy name, she can be redeemed from this world and go back to Godhead and eternally live a life of bliss. So that is the real charity, not the temporary charity, but the real charity. So chanting and preaching are two activities that we cannot give up ever. In fact, Srila Prabhupada and Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that preaching is life, non-preaching is death. So that is one thing. Now, this is external, right? You can chant also internally, but it is also an external thing that people can see that you're chanting on your beads. Preaching is an external thing. Internally, one must render devotional service. Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, like Dhruva, and he writes in the purport, sincere and serious. Tivra gham bhakti mudvahan. Tivra means someone who is really, really sincere. Auga literally means flooding. Tivra means concentrated, and auga means flooding. Concentrated flood, what does that mean? Unstoppable flood. Our bhakti should be unstoppable. Prabhupada also says in the purport, apratihata. It cannot be checked by anything. Nothing can stop us. Simultaneously, third point, he says, love and respect the devotees. Brahmanyam. Dhruva Maharaj loved and respected all the devotees in his kingdom. And for those who were not devotees, but they were innocent people, there are many innocent people, Deena Vatsalam, he was very, very kind towards them. So one needs to cultivate kindness. In fact, this is one element which is missing in most of us. We are not kind. We pretend to be kind to some degree, but we are not kind-hearted deep within. In our dealings with others, in our speech, in our thinking, finding faults, accusing someone, being harsh is not being kind. Of course, sometimes kindness can also have a form of chastisement. A mother who stops a child from putting his finger in the fire may actually shout at the child or speak very strongly. That may appear to be not kind, but there is inside there is kindness. So that kindness one must exhibit. Fifth, he protected very deeply his principles. Goptaram dharma setuna. Dharma setu. Setu means a bridge. When we protect our bhakti, the principles of devotional service, in just following the four regulative principles, chanting the holy names, prescribed number of rounds every day, what we have committed. When we protect dharma, dharma protects us. Goptaram dharma setuna. So this is like a bridge that will help us cross from this world to the next. Imagine you have to cross from a difficult place to a blissful place over a bridge. If you're not particular, if you're not very careful, if you allow that bridge to crumble, you will no longer be able to cross over. So all the principles, this is the only place in Bhagavatam where they are compared to a bridge. The four regulative principles we follow, the chanting, the service, this is like a bridge. Protect your bridge. Otherwise, if the bridge cracks, then crossing over will not be possible. Dhruv Maharaj also becomes responsible and acts very responsibly protecting his dependents. He Pitaram Praja. Pitaram means dependents are of two types. Dependents are either those who are younger than you, Praja, or those who look upon you to guide them, to protect them. And dependents may be also Pitaram, your mother, father, uncle, aunt, those who are old, elderly dependent. Both dependents, Dhruv Maharaj dutifully protected. One becomes a devotee, one cannot give up one's duty, morality. Next, we know that whatever we have got in this life is because of the pious credits that we might have accumulated in previous life. Just like in the village in India, there is a storage tank. A storage tank is something, it's very high, maybe 5 meters high. And there's a ladder which is attached to the storage tank. And when you collect the grains, when there is harvesting of the grains, let's say wheat has been harvested or rice has been harvested, the wheat will be stored and pushed from the top of the storage. At the top, you climb the ladder and you push it at the top. But when you collect the grains to eat at home in the evening, in the morning, you collect it from the latch which is at the bottom of the storage. Now, it could be that last year the grain was very bad because the rain was not enough, or there was not enough sunlight, or there was pests, whatever reason. Last year the rain was very bad, or grains were not good. So you are actually opening the latch below and you are eating the grains which are very bad. But this year, there has been sufficient rain, no pests, sufficient sunlight, and the wheat has really been harvested. Nice. But that wheat you are putting at the top. So you are reaping and enjoying the grains of last year. This year's grains you will enjoy next year. Similarly, in this life, we enjoy and we suffer results of our activities in previous life. How do we take suffering and how do we take enjoyment? It's very important. These are important lessons. Factually speaking, these 10 points are sufficient for us to do 10-hour session on, because each one is a gem. Since I've been tasked to give an overview, I'm just running through them very quickly. But how did he, in gist, how did he burn his pious credits? Now, why is it important to burn the pious credits? If we don't burn our pious credits, the results of pious credits, then we have to come back again to enjoy them. So burn them. How do you burn? By enjoying. So what does that mean, enjoying? Enjoying without breaking the regulations of devotional service. Enjoyment which is conducive to devotional service. Raghunath Das Goswami was a rich prince. His wife was as beautiful as Lakshmi Devi. And he had hundreds and thousands of gold coins worth of wealth. His uncles, they were all big landlords. They had huge pieces of land. What did Raghunath Das Goswami do? He spent his wealth behind the devotees. Chidadoi Mahotsav. So the reality is that if we have the pious credits by which we have a wonderful house, we have nice wealth, car, whatever Krishna has provided us, this needs to be used in the service of Krishna and his devotees. Then it gets purified. This is how Dhruv Maharaj enjoyed his pious credits. He served Narada, his guru. He served devotees, the Saptarishis, who were always visiting him in his palace. He was engaging in charity, giving charity to the Brahmanas and the Vaishnavas, cow protection. This is how he burned the results of his pious credits by enjoying them. And he burned his impious credits by non-enjoyment. Non-enjoyment here, abhogaihi. If you read the Sanskrit words, bhogaihi punya shayam kurvan. Through bhoga, through enjoyment, he finished his punya. Punya means pious credits. Abhogai, opposite of bhoga is abhoga. Abhogai ashubhakshayam. Through non-enjoyment of the impious credits, he burned the impious credits. Now you might wonder, what is non-enjoyment? Anyways, nobody enjoys impious credits. Impious credits will give you troubles in your life. Health troubles, mental trouble, job, so many troubles. Who enjoys that anyway, you might say. So here one has to understand what is the meaning. Abhoga. Bhoga literally means to, actually, I'll give you a gist with an example. If somebody is playing a video game, if he is playing a video game without actually engrossed, he cannot play the game. Suppose you are playing some game of racing cars. You can't actually not be paying attention to the screen and your joystick. And you cannot be just looking all around and playing the game. It will not work. You will crash or the game will be over. So bhoga is when one is willingly, consciously performing an activity with a certain expectation of result. So he's playing the game, that car game, and he's really focused. You call him, hey, my son's name is Dhruva. So I say, Dhruva, listen. And if he's playing something, he plays once in a while, he's playing something. So, Daddy, I can't talk to you right now. So that is conscious involvement with an outcome, which is he wants to win the race. That is enjoyment. Non-enjoyment means don't pay any attention. Just opposite of what I just said. Don't pay any attention. You have to still play the game. There is no option to not play it. You still play. You may crash against all different things in the game. Just don't pay any attention. Don't worry about the result. Completely detached. Austerity, performing austerity. Abhogai ashubhashayam. This way, and austerity will come. If you have performed some, if you have actually got a sickness, let's say diabetes or something, and you may be very, very attracted to eating sweets. Oh, I love rasgulla, I love barfi, peda. Your body will not allow you to eat those rasgulla, peda, barfi. Because if you do eat, your diabetes and your body overall will worsen. Your health will worsen. So you'll be forced to perform some tapasya, some austerity. And by performing that austerity, you burn up that karma. So all difficulties are burnt up by not paying much attention to them. In all this, one has to be avichala indriya. Controlling one's senses, very important. Senses have to be controlled. Sense control, here the word is avichala. Avichala means senses have by nature, they are always chala. Chala means they're always whimsical, running here and there. Chala means to run. In Hindi also, Hindi, Gujarati, Marathi, all these languages, northern Indian languages, you say chal, means to walk, go around. So avichala, make your indriyas come back to focus and not go. In fact, in the 11th canto of Bhagavatam, Narad Muni is saying, Asankalpat tyajet kamah. You make a negative resolution. My dear mind, you want me to do this? I will not do it. You want me to watch YouTube? I will not watch it. You want me to waste my time by going around and, just watching some game, doing something which is of no real consequence? I will not do it. Instead, I will pick up the Bhagavad Gita. Instead, I will do some physical service at the temple if I have to do some physical service. So, my dear mind, I will negatively resolve. So, this is avichala indriya. And last, by the way, the verse actually says these were the Sheela of Dhruv Maharaj. This was the character of Dhruv Maharaj. So please understand this. These are not some activities. Activities done superficially will only have a limited effect. But if these activities are done purposefully, and they are done regularly, and they are done consciously, purposefully, regularly, and consciously, they develop into a habit. And that which becomes a habit, which is unbroken, that unbroken habit develops character. And in this section of the Bhagavatam, these 10 points have been mentioned as the Sheela of Dhruv Maharaj, as a character of Dhruv Maharaj. So he could not, character means he could not act otherwise. As we know, there was a sage who was taking bath in the Ganga, and at that point, a scorpio slipped into the Ganga on the ghat, and the scorpio was drowning. And so the sage picked up the scorpio, and as soon as the sage picked up the scorpio bit the finger of the sage. And because he was bit, he released the scorpio and he fell back again. Again the sage picked him up. Again he was bit. Again he picked him up. Again he was bit. Again he picked him up. So one man who was sitting there observing, he said, "What are you doing? He keeps biting you and you keep picking him up." So he said, the sage said, "Well, the character of the Scorpio is to bite, but my character is to save. So we are both acting according to our character." Character is very difficult to build, but also very difficult to let go of. So these 10 are characteristics. The last point is realize that this material world is temporary and all things in this world must pass one day. It's the reality. Avidya rachita swapna. Avidya, ignorance. Rachita, created. Swapna, like a dream. Gandharva nagaropamam, like the city of the Gandharvas, which is only a dream. This material world is temporary and everything must pass. The worst days in your life will pass. The best days in your life will pass. What will remain is our devotional mood, the devotional service that we have performed. So when Dhruv Maharaj had done these with this character, he had ruled the kingdom for 36,000 years in Satyuga. In Satyuga, the duration of life is 100,000 years. So 36,000 of those years, it's like you could say he was 5 years old when he performed bhakti, and then he realized within a year he realized the ultimate goal. So 36,005. So it's like somebody in today's age, in Kali Yuga, 36 years old. That kind of comparison you could give. So 36,000 years he ruled the kingdom, and at that age, fairly young in one sense, he handed over the kingdom, the throne, to his son, considering that ultimately all things will be upasrishtam, are affected and will be seized, will be taken away by Kala, by time. And he left for Vishalam, for Badrikashram. This is very difficult for all of us. Recently, His Grace Gauranga Prabhu gave a leadership seminar in Bhaktivedanta Mana Haveli. And he mentioned that we have 8 identities. And these 8 identities are again mentioned here in this 4th canto, 12th chapter, verse 16. These 8 identities are very difficult to give up. Atma striyapatya surido balam riddhakosham antapuram parivihara bhuvascharamya bhumandalam jaladimekalamakalayya kalopashrishtamiti sa rayayau vishalam. So Atma, Stri, Apatya, Surida, Balam, Riddhakosha, Antapura, and Parivihara Bhuva. Atma means individual self. Stri means wife or husband, spouse. Apatya means children. Surid means friends. Bala means our influence. Riddhakosham means our wealth. Antapuram means all our enjoyments, instruments of enjoyments, gadgets, this, that, car, vehicles. Parivihara Bhuva means our house. Charamya. He had all this, Prahlad Maharaj. Sorry, Dhruv Maharaj had all of these. Bhumandalam, Jaladhimekhalam, Akalayya. Entire Bhumandala, the entire plain of Bhumandala, surrounded by the waters, Jaladhi Mekhalam, bordered by the waters, the entire planet, not even Earth, it is more than the Earth, the entire Bhumandala plain was ruled by Dhruv Maharaj. Akalaya, that was the remit, that was the limit of his possession. Kalo pashrishtam itisa rayayau vishalam. Kalo pashrishtam, understanding that everything, all these 8 things, ultimately are not my real identity. They will be taken up by time. Just 1 minute. These 8 identities that I have will be taken up by time. Realizing this, he left for Vishala. Vishala means Badrikashram. Actually, Parikshit Maharaj, he was also absorbed in his real identity. So he also left the kingdom, and he left these 8 temporary identities. This is the verse on which Gauranga Prabhu spoke. But actually, if you compare this verse and the verse for this 12th chapter, this Dhruva Maharaj's verse. It's exactly the same. 8 items. Atma, self, Jaya, wife, Sutta, children, Agara, house, Pashu, possessions, Dravina, wealth, Bandhushu, uh, relatives, Rajye, influence, Chavikale Nityam, Virudham, Mamatam Jahau. So, Parikshit Maharaj gave up these 8 identities. So what's the deeper lesson? There is a integral I. I is actually a very interesting thing. When you say I, when we are with a doctor and we say, I have high blood sugar, I have high blood pressure, I have high cholesterol, we are considering the I to be the health of the body. When we are with our spouse, our loved ones, then our I is, oh, are you the husband of Mr. Jones? Or are you the wife of, are you the husband of Mrs. Jones? Or are you the wife of Mr. Jones? Or, some identification that we get based on our spouse, our other half. Children is another. I'm a father, I'm a mother, I'm a husband, or I'm a wife is the intimacy second. I'm a father, I'm a mother, I'm a grandfather, I'm a grandmother. Property, I'm the owner of this place, I'm the owner of this 5-bedroom house, I'm owner of 20 properties, I'm owner of this estate. Instruments, oh, do you remember I'm that one who owns the Tesla Model Y, the silver colored Tesla Model Y with gold plated doors. I'm that person. So who are you? I'm the person who's owned the latest S24 Galaxy mobile phone. I'm the one who owns pubs, 20 pubs in central London. Wealth. I am the millionaire. I'm the billionaire. Inner circle friends. Oh, I'm friend of Rishi Sunak. I'm friend of Keir Starmer. I'm a friend of Bob Blackman. I'm a friend of, whoever, Bill Gates. These identifications are actually not me. Or finally, we might say, I am a director. I'm a vice president. I'm the owner of this business. So the real question is, who are we really? Are we the father? Are we the son? Are we the millionaire? Are we the owner of the Tesla? Are we the director? Who are we really? And that real I is what we need to work on. And that real I is part and parcel of Krishna, part and parcel of God. So I'm just conscious of time. I'm really sorry. This is a long chapter. And what I'd like to do now is pause, and maybe somebody else can continue with the rest of the chapter. Unless you want me to come back next week and continue, I'll be more than happy to finish it. It doesn't have to be that way. It can be, I'm happy with either way. So
How long do you think? Sorry, Prabhu.
apologies
How
for
long do you
not
think it's
being
going to
able
be
to
for?
finish. I don't know.
I mean, are you? Would you be happy to continue? I mean, we can always book a slot in on a Tuesday with yourself, if that's okay.
Yeah, we could do something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Thank you so
I
much.
would like to say, take some questions or comments or corrections, if there are any.
Yeah. Please put your hand up first of all. If I can ask you firstly before I move on to someone, when that last point that you made, and it's quite potent it's quite important to myself because when I'm talking about the learning Bhagavatam, I usually say something like we have Prabhuji or Gesha Maharaj, and is that not the same thing? Then I was just thinking about it just now because I'm name dropping in a sense to try to get people to come onto the platform, and I'm using people that are a brand, if you can see that, and I was just conscious that you just said that, and I thought, gosh, that's me as well. I do this, you know. Again, I'm saying but and so how do I take that? Because I'm mentioning certain people to get people onto.
Yeah, that's all right. If the motivation is purely in terms of service, that's all right. If somebody was to say, oh, you know what, I hang out with Keshav Maharaj, he's my buddy, and he WhatsApp me and asks me what did I have for dinner, and you go around showing everyone your mobile phone, saying, look, he's texting me every day. I'm so close to him. I think there's something wrong with that. But when it's pure motivation, only for the purpose of service, I don't believe there is any harm in doing that. If it's encouraging others to embrace Srimad Bhagavatam.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu.
You're doing a wonderful service, by the way.
I was slowly thinking, oh my God, am I being foolish here as well? So anyway, moving on to Vijay Krishna Prabhu. Would you like to ask your question, please?
Could you turn on your camera, please, when you ask your question?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you,
Yes.
Prabhu.
Yes. Kartik Prabhu, you said that if we stop doing sacrifices like chanting, and if we stop doing charity like preaching, then we become hard-hearted. So I would like to know the reason for that to happen.
Yes, wonderful question. Vijay Krishna Prabhu, you asked me a similar question 4 months back on the same platform. I remember it clearly. If my memory isn't failing me, you asked me about what if you cannot chant because of really bad health. You remember asking me this?
Yes, I do. I do remember.
I remember you asking me this question. So, yes, I think if we stop chanting, ultimately we are going to lose our connection with the Lord. Actually speaking, chanting is a matter of the heart, not a matter of the lips or the mouth. Neither is it the matter of the bead bag or the fingers. Because if you look at the gopis, they are chanting spontaneously the names of Krishna. When they say Tava Kathamritam, Tapta Jivanam, Kavibhiriditam, Kalmashapaham, they are saying Tava Kathamritam, your Katha, your names, pastimes. And when we say chanting, it's not necessarily just Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It also includes 4 things: Nama, Rupa, Guna, and Leela. Nama means the holy names. Rupa means the beauty of the Lord. Beautiful is the Lord. We may chant Baraha Pidam Natavara Vapuhu Karnayo Karnikaram. This is in Venu Gita. The gopis are chanting. Anyway, there is no time to go in the details. But such beautiful description from the peacock feather of the Lord. Baraha Pidam, Natavara Vapuhu, his beautiful threefold bending form. Karanayoho, Karanikaram, his beautiful earrings. The whole description of the beauty of the Lord. So Nama is the holy name. Rupa is the beautiful form of the Lord of Krishna. Guna is the beautiful qualities of the Lord. How the Lord is so gentle and soft-hearted that even when Gajendra is addressing him without remembering the name of the Lord runs and comes to him, even though he's not addressing in Gajendra Moksha prayers. In the 8th canto, there is no address of the name. There are no names of the Lord. And yet the Lord understands, oh, he's calling for me. This is my devotee. He comes. How Putana, Aho Bakiyam, Stanakala Kutam, even though she intended to kill Krishna just because the superficial act was to feed Krishna milk, she attained the position of a nurse in Goloka. Because when Krishna saw her, he thought, oh, this is Mother Rohini. Because she gave that sense to him, oh, let me make her mother. The Lord is so merciful. So this is his guna. Nama, Rupa, Guna, and Leela, his pastimes. So many wonderful pastimes. Innumerable pastimes. Innumerable avatars are there. So if one is not performing this chanting of the name, form, qualities and pastimes of the Lord, one will lose one's taste for devotional life, and that will result in hard-heartedness. Similarly, if one does not give Krishna, again, giving Krishna is not an external thing. Truly, you see, for a lover, you don't say to the lover, please, can you remember your beloved? Please, suppose there is Romeo and Juliet, we know. So Juliet was always remembering Romeo. Constantly, in every person, she was seeing Romeo in some sense or form. Oh, this person's nose is like Romeo. This person walks like Romeo. And Romeo was seeing Juliet in everyone. Oh, look at this beautiful moon. The face is like my dear Juliet. Nobody told Romeo, please, when you look at the moon, please think of Juliet. Nobody said, nobody instructed. Initially, we may do that. But really, the chanting is out of love. Similarly, the giving of Krishna to others, in the real sense, is out of love. There is so much love overwhelming. Your cup is so full that it overflows, automatically overflows. Your heart is so full of Krishna that nothing else comes out but Krishna. And that is real preaching. Prabhupada was not endeavoring to preach. He was not endeavoring to preach. The only thing, his every act was preaching. His every move was preaching. He was a true lover of the Lord. So in that sense, we should develop our consciousness to a level where our deep absorption is in chanting the name, form, qualities, and pastimes of the Lord, Nama, Rupa, Guna, and Leela of the Lord. And it is so overwhelming that we naturally give, whoever we see, we give Krishna. I was with Shruti Dharma Prabhu, and there was a nurse. Anyway, I won't tell her name. She was from the hospital where he was being treated. And she came, and I was at the hospital with him. And she came, and she saw Shruti Prabhu. And she introduced herself that my name is such and such. And Mr. Patel, what's your name? And Shruti Prabhu gave his name. And then she said, so what do you do for a living? And Shruti Prabhu said, well, have you heard of the Hare Krishnas? And she said, oh, you mean the big temple in Watford? She was not an Indian nurse. She was not Indian. So she said, oh yeah, is that the big temple in Watford? And Shruti Prabhu said, yes. And then he said, I work there. And my job, because the lady asked, what is your job? What do you do? He said, my job is to make everyone happy in that temple and to make the master of that temple happy. The master of the temple is Radha Gokulananda. And he then introduced Radha Gokulananda to her. He was just so much filled with the love for the Lord that even in the most seemingly painful, externally painful situation, all he could do is share Krishna. And I would sit next to him and I would read Srimad Bhagavatam. And sometimes I would massage him and he would say, well, you're the best. I'm sure he felt the same way for so many others who served him. So I don't take that as a personal note, but it was his mood to say that you are the best because I get double treatment for the soul and treatment for the body. You're massaging me and you're also sharing Bhagavatam like that. But he was so exemplary. So I hope I gave a long answer, but I really wanted to make sure that you're able to deeply appreciate the point.
Yes, Kartik Prabhu. I loved it when you mentioned it depends on how absorbed we are.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you very much. You're most kind. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, and I continue to pray for you, Vijay Krishna Prabhu.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. You're most
Continue to
kind.
remain in my prayers.
Thank you very much.
Yes, do we
Yeah, we've got quite a few, if that's okay. We've got 3. Satyajit Prabhu, would you like to ask your question, please? Are we okay
Yes.
for time, by the way? Sorry. Let's just ask. Are we okay for time, Kartik Chandra Prabhu?
I'm okay. We'll go on for another 5 minutes, maybe.
Okay, sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Satyajit Prabhu, would you like to ask your question?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thanks for the very nice and practical class. Prabhuji, at that 7th point, I have a question which you mentioned, burning pious credits by enjoyment. Can you please, Prabhuji, elaborate a bit more on that point?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, Bhogai Punya Shayam Kurvan. This is mentioned in the verse. Bhogaihi Punya Shayam Kurvan. One should exhaust one's punya karma by enjoying. Enjoying doesn't mean you enjoy to fulfill the desires of your individual senses. If you enjoy that way, it will bind you further. It will not be Shayam. Shayan Karwan means to finish it. So how do you do it? Suppose you have, like Raghunath Das Goswami, you have 100,000 gold coins, which is roughly, I don't know, maybe roughly $20 million. What did Raghunath Das Goswami do? He distributed it to the devotees. He fed sumptuously. He did a huge party for the devotees. So if you have means, because the reality is this, reflect on it. The reality is, whatever you possess, especially your wealth, will be taken away anyway. By your children, by your doctor, by your lawyers, by your landlord, by the government. So the wealth that you possess, slowly by slowly, slice by slice, slice by slice, it's going away anyway. You can't control it. You might as well willingly, knowingly spend it wholeheartedly on the devotees of the Lord, on the Lord, for the service of the Lord. If you do that, by doing that, you completely vanquish your pious credits.
So it has to be done like an enjoyment, not like austerity, like, oh, I have to donate because I have to donate.
Absolutely.
In the enjoying mood, then only.
With enjoyment, you enjoy spending the money for the devotees. You enjoy spending money for Krishna. You enjoy uplifting others. If that is your enjoyment, then the pious credits are burnt in the right way and you don't get implicated. Otherwise, you get implicated with another karma.
So whatever we have been given.
If I have money and all I do is I just eat McDonald's cheeseburgers because I have a lot of money, then I get implicated. Nothing against McDonald's, but I'm just giving an example. Or if I just drink alcohol, well, I have a liver failure and I get implicated in this life and then next life too. So possessing wealth is one thing. Having the prudence to use it is another. Okay.
So whatever
next,
the opulence we have, we should use it for
Krishna's service and the service of the devotees. Yes.
In an enjoying spirit, not like austerity.
Correct. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. And that's the underlining word. In fact, any charity that is given grudgingly has zero benefit. If you give something grudgingly, there is no benefit. If you do some service grudgingly, there is no benefit. And if you do some service or you give some charity and you announce it, then whatever benefit you would have got by doing that charity, the fame that you get or the petty recognition that you get, like you may be sitting with someone, you say, hey, do you know, I just donated 50,000 pounds to Bhaktivedanta Mana, 50,000 pounds to Church of England, 50,000 pounds to whatever, XYZ, to Oxfam. If you just announce that, then the law of karma works like this. The other person might say, really? You donated 50,000 pounds to Oxfam? Oh man, you're so charitable. That's it. The result of that donation of 50,000 could have been that Oxfam would have used that money for, I don't know, feeding the poor in Africa or something. And this would have meant that in your next life, you would never go hungry. That could have been the result of that charity. However, because you announced it, the result that friend of yours said, wow, you're so charitable, finished, results finished. The 50,000 pound result finished. So the law of karma is really very, very intricate. Intricate to the level that when Arjuna is asking Krishna, please tell me about the law of karma, Krishna is replying to Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita, oh, law of karma, it's too difficult to explain. Even Krishna says that. So anyway, I gave you the high-level understanding. Serve, but don't feel like you deserve. When you serve, feel like you don't deserve anything back.
You should be humble.
Yes. All right, we'll go to the next one.
Bhagavad Prabhuji. Bhagavad Prabhuji.
Did Jai Vaid?
Oh, Mataji, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. It was such a wonderful class. My question is about point 4, where you said that the character of Dhruv Maharaj, the point 4 is kind to innocent people. Mm-hmm. That didn't quite fit with me in the sense that because Swayambhuva Manu had to come and he had to advise him that you are killing innocent people amongst the yakshas. So that bit, it just, if you can explain that bit, that it was his character, but yet he was...
Repeat the last part. I didn't quite follow the question. Dharmendra Prabhu, could you... Yeah, so you could repeat, yeah.
So the question was that point 4, where you had described 10 characters of Dhruv Maharaj. Point 4 is about being kind to innocent people.
Correct, yes.
But But when he was killing the yakshas, Swayambhuva Manu had to come and he had to stop him. He had to advise him to say, while you're killing,
Understood.
you are killing all the innocent people as well.
Correct.
So
Correct.
that bit.
Correct. Very good question. And why did he do that? Because his krodha, his anger, overcame his character.
Okay.
So although we have a character, I think there are certain situations which can overwhelm us. It can overwhelm us because of circumstance. So circumstances, when we are in circumstances which overwhelm us, we need someone like Manu Maharaj to come back and remind us of our real character. Hey, you are a devotee. What are you doing? Is this how you want to present yourself? Is this who you really are? That's why we need such friends, such guides. We need such shelter of such seniors who can come back and remind us. So Manu performed that job of a senior who came and reminded him. This is not your nature, Dhruva. You are kind to the innocent, but your anger, due to the awareness that the yakshas have killed your brother, actually your stepbrother, Uttama, that has overcome your base character, and you are behaving in a way which is not characteristic of you. And you must have seen this in your life. You must have experienced there are so many people who behave in a way which is apparently very strange. We say, "Oh, that was very strange. He or she never behaves like this." Some switch flicked, and so we need to be under such shelter. Had he not been stopped by Manu, he would have gone and he would have wiped out the entire race of yakshas. So that's a nice question.
Thank you.
Good. Bhagadatta Prabhu, last question. Mother Jayanti.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, can you hear us?
Yes.
Yeah, I have a question actually regarding these identities which Dhruva Maharaj gave up. My question is, was he able to give them up because of his meeting with the Lord previously, and he got blessed and he had the strength to do that, or actually he was performing some specific type of austerity to give them up? Like,
good question. So it's both. It's both. It was the mercy of the Lord and his endeavor. We cannot just depend on the mercy and expect miracles to happen. Srila Prabhupada, in one class, he said, you may or may not have heard of this person, Sarojini Naidu. She was known as the Nightingale of India. Nightingale of India is a title that was given to a poetess, a female poet who writes really exquisite poetry. So Sarojini Naidu, an Indian lady, the British gave her this title, the Nightingale of India, and they gave her an honorary PhD from either Cambridge or Oxford, I can't remember, one of the prestigious British universities. And Srila Prabhupada comments, he says, well, if every other man and women on the street think that they can write some poetries and the British government will give them PhDs, honorary PhDs, they are just foolish. Mm-hmm. So we cannot say that somebody attained great mercy. Gajendra attained great mercy of the Lord without even calling the Lord. I am actually saying Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. But the Lord is not looking at me. Gajendra did not even know Hare, he did not know Krishna, he did not know Rama, and yet personally the Lord is coming. So if somebody has got simply, mercy and nothing but mercy, we cannot say, oh, I should also be. We cannot say, just because I write some nice poetry, I am also going to be getting a PhD from Cambridge. Prabhupada actually says this. And then Prabhupada says, therefore, we should work towards the PhD. make our application, and then the professor will be happy and award us the PhD. So we have to do both. We have to make the Lord happy, and we have to work towards it as well. Otherwise, people think that, oh, it's a path of complacency, it's a path of ease. What is the difference between bhaktas and sahajiyas? Many differences, philosophical, this, that, and the others. But one key difference is sahaja means easy. Take it easy. There's a phrase in English, take it easy. So when you're performing devotional service, you can't take it easy. Tivrena bhakti yogena. Tivro gasam. Both Canto Bhagavatam. It's like a strong flood. Not taking it easy. Sahaja means to take it easy. Sahajiyas, take it easy. Oh, you can do whatever you want. Take it easy. Krishna is now under your control. No. That philosophy is not accepted by the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So I hope I answered your question. We have to do both our endeavor and the Lord's mercy, like the two fingers of Mother Yashoda. And we have to equally be dependent when we are performing endeavor. We are dependent on mercy, and when we receive mercy, we perform more endeavor.
Yeah, thank
That
you.
is how we grow in our spiritual life.
Yeah, that was my question, that he actually received the mercy due to his endeavor and tapasya before that. But after once he received the mercy, did he need it again? Or already he had that personality where he can reject everything and surrender to the Lord?
No, he had to go through 36,000 years of enjoying the kingdom of his father. He had to go through that to finish off that lingering desire. That is why we have to be very mindful of what we desire, even as devotees. What if the Lord fulfills it? Well, I'm a devotee, I'm struggling, I'm not a very materially rich person, and I desire to have a palace and maybe 10 cars and many servants. What if Krishna just fulfills that? It just delays my process, right?